Hey everyone! Welcome to Watch with Fun 555. Make sure to smash that like button right now and subscribe so you never miss out on any fun.
You talked to an AI today, maybe more than once, and you probably don't know it yet. Think back to the last 12 hours. Every digital interaction, every customer support window, every auto-completed email, every curated piece of media you consumed. We have been trained to look for the sci-fi version of artificial intelligence, the walking, talking android, or the giant glowing mainframe. Because we were looking for a spectacle, we completely missed the integration. Most people picture AI as something coming, a future thing, a headline, a robot somewhere down the line. But by the time you're watching this, it's already running quietly behind things you used this morning. Your inbox, your last customer service chat, the playlist that somehow knew exactly what you wanted. Maybe even the last person you thought you talked to. Nobody sent out a press release for any of this. There was no global announcement day. It just became the default, one interaction at a time, while everyone was busy arguing about the future version. This is the phenomenon of the invisible normal. When a technology is disruptive enough, it doesn't storm the gates. It gently replaces the infrastructure while we sleep. Let's look at the receipts. Example 1, customer service. A growing share of support chats aren't answered by a person first. They're routed through an AI, and a lot of users never realize it. Not because anyone's hiding it, because it's cheaper, it's faster, and most of the time it works well enough that nobody stops to ask. Think about the architecture of a modern support ticket. When you type, "Where is my order?" you aren't talking to a database manager. You are interacting with a large language model fine-tuned on corporate logistics. It mimics human empathy, inserts artificial typing delays to feel authentic, and signs off with a completely fictional human name. By the time a corporate entity passes you to a living, breathing employee, the AI has already extracted your data, categorized your frustration level, and determined if you are financially worth a human agent's time. Example 2, scheduling. That meeting that got rebooked automatically, often no human touched it. An assistant read the thread, found the gap, and moved it, and the calendar invite just looks like it always does. In corporate ecosystems, temporal coordination was once a massive labor sink. Executives had administrative assistants whose entire livelihoods revolved around calendar management. Today, invisible background demons scan email semantics. They recognize phrases like, "Let's push to Thursday," or "Are you free at 2?" Cross-reference the availability matrix of 6 different executives across 3 time zones, and issue the adjustments in milliseconds. The human hand is entirely absent from the timeline. Example 3, writing. That quick note from a coworker, that polished product description, that first draft you got back faster than seemed possible. A lot of that starts as an AI draft before a person ever touches it. The polish is real. The speed is the tell. We live in a world of narrative inflation. Because generating text has a marginal cost of near zero, the volume of written content has exploded. Emails are expanded by AI from 3 bullet points into 5 paragraphs, only to be received by another AI that condenses those 5 paragraphs back down into 3 bullet points for the reader. We are caught in a loop where machines are talking to machines, using our professional identities as the proxies. Example 4. The recommendation you got before you even asked for one. This is not a coincidence. This is a system that's been quietly learning your patterns for longer than you'd guess, then serving up the exact thing to keep you scrolling or buying. Every pause over an image, every millisecond you spend hovering over a headline while scrolling past, your device's gyroscope data, the ambient noise picked up by micro-permissions, they form a digital behavioral mirror. The algorithm doesn't just know what you like, it knows what you will want when you are tired, what you will buy when you are lonely, and what will keep you awake at 2 a.m. It doesn't react to your desires, it predicts them so accurately that it shapes them. And there's one more example coming up that's gonna hit a lot closer to home than any of these. But before we look at that final threshold, we have to look at the why. Here's the part that actually matters. This isn't one company or one weird edge case. It's happening across support, writing, scheduling, recommendations, even hiring screens at the same time for the same reason. It's cheaper, it's faster, and most people never see the seam where the handoff happened. That's the real story here. Not robots taking over dramatically in one big cinematic moment, just quietly becoming the default, interaction by interaction, while we were all still picturing something else. And example 5 is the one most people don't see coming at all. Here's the one that gets me. The thoughtful reply you got back from a company you trust. The one that felt personal, that used your name, that seemed to actually get it. There's a real chance nobody read your message before it was written. That's not a scandal, and it's not a conspiracy. That's just where things already are. We have entered the era of manufactured intimacy. Brands, institutions, and even public figures utilize hyper-personalized algorithmic layers to maintain relationships at a scale that is humanly impossible. It reads your history, cross-references your lifetime customer value metrics, synthesizes a psychological profile, and outputs an email or response engineered to make you feel uniquely seen. The sentiment is perfectly executed, but it is completely empty of human consciousness. We are moving from a world where AI is a tool you intentionally open in a browser tab to an atmospheric utility. It will become like electricity, ambient, invisible, and completely non-negotiable to daily function. So what do you actually do with this? Not panic, just pay attention. Notice where a response feels a little too fast, a little too smooth, a little too convenient. Ask when it matters. It costs nothing, and it keeps you oriented in a system that isn't going to slow down and explain itself to you. The goal isn't to distrust everything. It's to stop being surprised by something that's already been true for a while. If one of these 5 surprised you, drop a comment and tell me which one. I'm building part 2 around what you didn't know. And if you want the next one the moment it drops, you know what to do.